Yes, mine goes to the MD of PostBank. You talk about how scalable is it? How many people have used it so far, and what are the volumes like?
Thank you. Let's make it short, then we can come. I like that we're having the interaction.
Thank you. My one is still goes to Mr. Kakeeto, the CEO of PostBank. I've had issues with your bank in particular. Some of us who are diaspora, we release money, and when I send my grandma money through Western Union, there are always long queues, or else the network is not on. She's told to come back the next day, and I want to be specific, the branch in Mbali is doing badly. So you better address that. Thank you.
Noted, and I'm sure Julius will respond and act on landing in Kampala. You've commented in front of his boss as well, which is not very good. So he has no choice but to respond.
Thank you very much. The Deputy Governor is here, so I don't want to be marked the wrong way. But on a more serious note, we'll look into that issue. But if I look at a bank like Power Bank, personally, when I joined, and we're talking about technology, 80% of the transactions used to happen over the counter. That's why I used to witness the long queues. Today, transaction volumes have multiplied by 5 times. But the transactions that are at the counter are 9%. 91% is digital. So for us, the conversation about a branch is very questionable, because with digitalization and digitization, the conversation is changing. So you're bringing more people on board without necessarily having that thing called a branch. You don't have to come to a branch. But again, the same conversation, there's a question around the WND. How scalable? In about 2 years, 1.4 million customers are already on the WND. It has more customers than the original bank of PostBank that had up to 1 million customers. So you can see the speed at which this grows, the digital bank. And we are currently on a mission to have a branch, an agent at every parish. So that's over 10,000 parishes in Uganda. Meaning once you have a WND, you can cash in or cash out at a parish level. So it's a national bank. It's everywhere. We want to make it very
I'm going to invoice you for advertising.
Yeah, but let me respond to the question around mobile money.
Governor wants Mbale.
I need to get into the specifics of Mbale branch. Yeah, but the issue of mobile money being expensive, one of the delegates raised that issue. If you look at the statistics in Uganda today, out of a population of 46 million, 33 million phone accounts do exist, mobile phone accounts. 33 million, which is 3 times the number of bank accounts that exist. And I'm saying this because I double hat also, I chair Uganda Bankers Association, so we track some of these things. So it's 3 times. Where do you start if you want to bring everyone on board? You have to go to what the public has already endorsed and adopted, which is the mobile phone. Chances are you'll be able to reach everyone instead of going for the traditional brick and mortar of the account.
Thank you. I want Irene to touch a little bit. Then I'll come back.
Okay, maybe I'll just quickly respond to the insurance question. We have at ABSA, we have partnered with a number of insurance companies that are interested in specific groups, especially women, vulnerable children, the refugees. What we normally do, we partner with them. They will, whatever funds that are available, we do onward lending to such kind of groups in order to bring them into the financial services. So yes, the partnerships are there. We have, most of the insurance companies, the South Africa insurance companies, we have also now tapped into this market, the UK market, and then we also partner with microfinance companies. So what we do as a bank, we connect these 2 or 3 entities to be able to provide funds that can onward lend to the last mile of whichever group that we are targeting. I think the recent one we've just done is one that targets women down in the rural areas. And with that, I'm also glad to know that they are now also taking insurance, which were the real life insurance, as part of a package to these vulnerable groups and the last mile. So I think we can have a conversation, but the market is, at least the banking sector does have those services where we can, service the vulnerable groups.
I wanted to just touch on trade finance. There's a question on trade finance and the cost in terms of insuring those trades. Maybe Graham can help us touch it.
My answer won't be so much about insuring that trade. You need to find a good trade partner who's going to provide you that information, that instrument, in a particular way. And it's collateralizing and what's required for that, and the risk elements that go with it. I'm happy to talk with you afterwards to talk about our risk model, because again, we're talking about appropriate collateral for different markets. And that's not just saying, no, you can't do a trade, we'll make it 5 times the cost. It's actually doing it with a much more innovative way of providing the instrument to you at a reasonable price to do business. So happy to take that offline. The other thing really interesting is your comment about everybody says no, immediately you mention Africa, whatever. One thing I'm a great advocate of, and I hope you are as well, is that the rating systems which are currently used for banks and financial organisations are creating a real problem, not just for Uganda, but for every country in Africa. There is no African bank in the top 100 banks in the world. The first bank that appears is number 154, which is Standard Bank. 150. 154 is ABSA. After that is way down. There are 850 banks in Africa. There are 42 central banks, 46 currencies. There are 2,000 languages spoken. So it's not surprising that there are issues with anybody wanting to invest is saying, where do I go? How do I do this? I was in Rwanda recently and we talked with the government there about a new Project 54, connecting the 54 countries of Africa's central banks. So we get standardization, reusability, harmonization of the way things work, movement of payments that much easier. And again, we discussed that. I was in Namibia with the Commonwealth Heads of State meeting, and following that at the Zambia meeting. And the same question comes up. Ratings. We're not rated by Moody, not rated by Fitch. What we need is a way to have a rating which truly reflects each country's aspect of its major banks in its own jurisdiction and economy, so that you can be viewed in a different way that not only makes sense to the whole of the continent, but to every other bank worldwide as well.
Okay, thank you so much for that. In terms of there is a comment here from
the opportunity.